I just saw Oregon lose to Bowling Green. I don't know if that's right. I swear. Dan, what did you set your oh my god, UCLA got punked by FIU. Dan, what did you set your offensive and defensive tendencies to? I couldn't really decide what to set mine to this week. Seems like you've always favored the run, but this year you have a really good quarterback and a really good wide receiver. So I was like, maybe he'll try to throw more often. I don't know, I could not decide. $45 on offense, 45 on and 40 favoring the run on defense. Okay. Yeah, maybe I think I did 55 or 45. I actually don't remember. I don't know if that'll make the difference either way, but we'll see. I feel like your team always, I think my team's a little bit better ratings wise, but your team always seems to play a punch above their weight. Sims. Pretty excited to check out the bloodbath that was this UCLA FIU game. They're not gonna fire you after your first game, dog. Come on, Tyler. Alright, so well, let's check this out. 47-21. They were up 17-0 after the end of the first quarter. But you missed an extra point. Philly did have a nice 65-yard touchdown. Defense was not there. Very even on both sides. 272 rushing, 297 passing. They didn't turn it over once. Yeah, I mean it was pretty thorough, right? I mean that's a pretty pedestrian day though. I've seen worse. 13-21, 196. The guy averaged 7 yards a carry. It's pretty freaking good. He averaged 5 yards a carry. One of them fumble or something. Where is it? Yeah, he fumbled. Not a lot through the air. Guy had that one long catch. Their main stuff. Did get a sack. One sack and no turnovers is not. Defense seems to be the weakness here. Just a field goal from inside of 30. Rough. Not a horrific punting day, but yeah, FIU just kind of had the. All right. Got it here. Minnesota 37, Ball State 13. This one didn't seem like it was very close. They traded 20-ish yard touchdown passes in the second quarter. I feel like I kicked a lot of field goals in this game, including tacking one on with 45 seconds left in the fourth, and I'm already up 21. Is that the biggest loss in your coach's history, Dan? See how good I do against you, Dan, when I don't actually have to play the games? So much better that way. Your offense, dude, was rough, honestly. I don't know if I've seen a team rush for under 100 yards, like a user team. I've seen teams throw for under 100 yards, but No turnovers in the game at all. Dan only got to the red zone once. Kicked a field goal. I only scored 2 touchdowns on my 5 red zone possessions, but I mean 50 rushes for almost 300 yards compared to 28 for 95. 17 to 38. Not super efficient numbers wise, but the third down conversions was a pretty big difference. 14 for 19 compared to 4 for 12. No possession. So this is Ball State. I mean, that's not a bad passing day. 62% completion for 200 yards and a touchdown with no picks. Sacked a lot, maybe. Sacked 3 times. That's not a crazy amount. Look at these rushing stats, though. Holy bully. 9 for 30. That's the quarterback, right? 9 for 13. 9 for 50. 5 for 24. That's, I mean, long of 6, long of 10, long of 11. The rushing attack is not there. Samuel had a pretty solid receiving day. I have a feeling we're not going to see too much defense. 2 guys split a sack. And you guys had 3 total tackles for loss. 4 total. 2 for 2 on field goals though, and he made his extra point. Net average of 30 yards a punt, but he did down one inside the 20. Um, 44% completion percentage, but he was only sacked once. I mean, my guy last year was amazing, obviously. This is definitely a step down, but this is still a step up from that other guy I had who was really atrocious. So, he's not as efficient, but he's really making some plays. Two good running backs. 2 good running back performances, I should say. 19 for 129. 6 for 143 from Romero. Definitely my best receiver, but Holt had both. Back and a half for Davis. 3 for 3 on field goals. This is a freshman kicker, I think, too. Only long of 36, but for a freshman kicker to get. And the freshman punter had 41-yard average. TOP, Dan? I think it was 35-25. 35-24. So, in favor of Minnesota, but nothing. It wasn't one of those like 42-18 ones or something. All right, Duke with a pretty comfy win over Northwestern here. They were up 20-0 at halftime and then played the second half even. Northwestern did have a pick 6, but it kind of start the third quarter, but they couldn't get much on that. Northwestern's one of the only teams in the Big Ten that I can beat. They're not doing the conference favors. They're out of conference performance here. Duke had a pretty significant yardage advantage. Northwestern had one of those classic, really bad sim passing games where they just weren't doing anything at all. They went 1 for 3 in the red zone. Even Duke, he only went 3 for 5, but Anton back in the head coaching ranks with a victory. Pretty promising. Duke, great. 21-32 for 243, 3 touchdowns and 2 picks. A pretty topsy-turvy game, I guess. But that's overall, it's pretty good. Completion 19 for 115. 9 for 3 different guys had receiving touchdowns. Brown seems to be the weak link on the offensive line, allowed all 3 of the sacks. Day had a sack, White had a sack. 2 for 3 on field goals, made all 4 extra points. 48-yard average on punts. I wonder if they had a really long one. Yard long ones, just 2 solid punts. Neither guy returned a kick for over 20 yards. I want to see how bad this. E. Taylor, off 34% completion with a pick. Oh, I did see that correctly, and I did see a 17-14 win for Bowling Green over Oregon. Look at that. Just look at that fucking stat line. In the first 3 quarters, only one of the 2 teams scored. It wasn't until the 4th quarter that both teams scored. No, sorry. No, I read that wrong. There was no quarter where both teams scored in this game. Bowling Green, wow. Bowling Green bookended the game with 17 in the first and 4th, and then Oregon scored 14 in the second and 3rd. And you know, Oregon doesn't have too much of a history of vaunted high-powered offenses, so I'm sure their fans and athletic department staff are pretty psyched with Salim coming in, putting up 272 total yards, including 6 for 14 passing for 52 yards in his first game. Sure that will go over well with the boosters. Did go 2 for 2 in the red zone, but they only got there twice in 4 quarters. Both teams ran the crap out of the ball. The teams combined for 150 passing yards, 149. Not good. Salim didn't convert his 1 4th down attempt, while Bowling Green went 3 for 4. That honestly might make a pretty big difference. Wow. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's rough for for Oregon. 12 for 32 for Bowling Green's quarterback. Oh no. All right. 6 for 14. So he must have been on like what, 60 or it's like 35 run heavy or something. I don't know why Oregon would be traveling to Bowling Green for this game. Yeah, you're right though. At Bowling Green. What the fuck are you playing at Bowling Green for, Oregon? Not that that would have helped you much. With this performance, I feel like this could have happened at Outson as well. Anyway, 3.3 a carry for his starting running back. This guy had a good game, 13 for 96, 12 for 70. Only one receiver had all 6 of his completions. The defense obviously played it better. They held him to 17 points. Sack and a half, 2 sacks, sack and a half. Defense is getting pressure on the quarterback. 7 assist tackles. Acon. Not bad. Didn't attempt any field goals. Made both of his extra points. 6 punts for an average of 36 yards. Nice 35-yard kick return there. Yeah, so this is a classic offense let down the defense here. And then we have we already did this, sorry. Cool. Well, that's all the games. There's not much else to show here because the recruiting has not started yet. Like how their logo's a fucking radioactive whole thing. It's inappropriate. Colorado's still number 1 in the nation. Minnesota and Bama. NC State's dropped a spot because it didn't play. Ball State's still getting some votes. Virginia Tech. Oh, I thought it was Virginia for a second. Did I not? I can go back and do that. I must have. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, I'll do that, Anton, in a second. UVA beat Stanford. Oh yeah, I forgot that nobody's at UVA. FIU player stats, correct? Yeah. So they had 2 quarterbacks play. Both of them. I mean, he was really efficient. He was less efficient, but still 60% completion. 19 for 132 is nice. Spread the ball around. 4 pancakes. Sack, pick. Tackle for loss. 2 tackles. Hey, a couple TFLs scattered in there. A pick return for 28 yards. This guy forced a fumble, but nobody recovered it. Nope, JK. This guy recovered it for 5 yards. Nobody had any safeties. 2 for 2. Oh, but he did miss an extra point. I think we'll talk about that. A net 26-yard punt. A 50-yard kick return for Sean Merriman's brother. He's also the punt returner. The game. All right. Week 3, we got Colorado State at Duke. Duke is favored despite being worse in every offensive and defensive rating. Colorado State has a -5 turnover differential from their first game. Could be something that Duke could take advantage of. 5. Oh, they just lost the turnover battle in the first game, 5-0. Florida International goes to Troy. That's a really good little mid-major non-con matchup. Well, they're in the same conference. This is a really game. Is this a Conference USA game? Oh, my bad. I forgot to play early. Well, this is just a good conference matchup then. FIU is putting up 47 a game in a small sample size of one game, but they're also going up against a bit of a paper tiger. UCLA and Washington, battle of the teams that are disappointing already. Washington's offense looks like it sucks, and look at that. Okay, so they had 245 yards of offense in their first game and gave up 511. They just got doubled up on offense. That's early season toilet bowl. Somehow Ball State versus ULM made it onto regional broadcast television. Not sure why. Ball State has a pretty hardy advantage here. They'll probably be experiencing for the rest of the season. Most of their games. Marshall at NC State. NC State's looking to recover from that whooping that Bama put on them. SMU at West Virginia. SMU lost to the Gophers in their first game. To bounce back. Virginia somehow scored 11 points. What is that? Touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal, or what? 5 safeties. And then they returned an extra point try for a touchdown. Oh, and this is the game of the week. Florida, who is only a B+ versus Bama. Good big test here. Bama's looking fucking great through one game. We'll see. I'm interested. Florida Bama's a good one. UCLA Washington is a conference game. I guess I would say probably, looks like I have the week off. I would say, where is that? Florida International at Troy is the most interesting. IMO. Okay, we can check like the Heisman bunch. Does that even really update yet? Nope, not really. Oh, nobody important. Alright, I think champ contenders, okay. Fine, John. Fine. UCLA is at 89 right now. Let's go back down to the bottom. Okay, wait. Oregon, Florida International in 2021 look like they're gonna make some moves. Oregon is just this is a 2-star program. Wow, what the fuck? That is brutal. I do not know what happened to that team. Duke, obviously has a lot of building to do, talent-wise. Old Dominion jumps up to 98, but then they're back at the bottom. I think they're gonna really have to take advantage of that 2019. All right, so who did we see? We saw UCLA, so they get up to 2019. They look like they have talent coming in. We're into the B pluses. We got SMU 47 this year, then 1, then 2, then 4. Ball State. Look at Ball State. 29, 21, 16. 5-star. NC State with the first A+ squad. 15 right now. 8, 6, 11. In the top. Alabama goes 8, 2, 1, 1. Kind of as to be expected. Then we got Minnesota at 7, 3, 3, 2. Close under. Alright. We just need Florida to beat Bama. Yes, we do, Anton. You are damn right we do. Alright, I think that's everything. Yeah, it's too early for recruiting. Conference standings don't matter yet. I don't really care about tough place to play. So, I'm gonna dip out. And I'm gonna play that whatever Dr. Nose Water or whatever and user heavy in about 20 minutes. So, I'll pop back on for that in a little bit.